Artificial intelligence has become the newest colleague in many workplaces, writing emails, analyzing data, and even helping businesses make decisions. But as companies hand over more information to AI, one question is becoming harder to ignore. Who else gets to see that data? Sylvia Cathoni reports.
For the first wave of artificial intelligence adoption over the last 4 years, businesses had a pretty simple formula. Sign up for ChatGPT, Microsoft's Copilot or Google's Gemini, upload information, automate repetitive tasks and move on. It was fast, efficient and for many, a no-brainer. But as AI becomes part of day-to-day businesses, some companies are hitting the pause button not on AI itself, but on where the data ends up.
At least it's always going to boil down to security and control. Localized AI or locally deployed AI is going to have none of the data sent offshore to the large LLMs. So from a security and control perspective, there is a tendency for that. And I think by localized AI, you might also mean locally trained AI, in which case you have more appropriate output that's relevant for a given user.
Instead of walking away from AI, they are looking for a plan B. It's called sovereign AI, an approach that allows businesses to keep control of their own data, infrastructure, and AI models, rather than depending entirely on third-party platforms. The goal? Protect sensitive information while still enjoying the benefits of artificial intelligence.
Centers around sort of confidence, confidence again from a sovereignty that, that the AI, the data that I have is, falling in line with the laws of the country, the cultures of the country. The data is being used in a responsible way, in everything that we do. And I think more and more you are seeing that, sovereign AI is becoming important because citizens, organizations really want to make sure that the data that is being used within these AI models is, as I say, being used responsibly.
That matters even more in industries where information is the business. Think banks handling financial records, hospitals storing patient files, or manufacturers protecting trade secrets. But what do these businesses actually stand to gain?
Open source models and local deployment. So some of the benefits when you're using it locally, in addition to security, is you can actually train it for your given context. So in that case, you're going to get better output. But it's not the case for all contexts. Certain data cannot go offshore. Then in addition to ROI, it's actually just a regulatory requirement in relation to where data is processed and stored. And I suppose on each case, ROI on return of investment, we'll have to look at.
Building an AI model from scratch is still too expensive for most businesses. So many are taking a more practical route, using existing AI models while keeping their own data in secure environments. Experts say as Kenya develops its own AI ecosystem, investment in digital infrastructure and cybersecurity will be just as important as the technology itself.
Ensuring that the posture that organizations have and how they address cyber and cyber within an AI world becomes critically important. But I think you are going to see continued movement and continued sort of changes to legislation as AI continues to evolve.
AI isn't going anywhere. But for businesses, the conversation is shifting from simply using artificial intelligence to deciding how and where it should be used. Sylvia Cathoni, NTV.